Well, Street Child, a charity founded in Sierra Leone and now operating in 20 countries, have termed the aid cuts as profoundly depressing and short-sighted. We spoke to their Sierra Leone country director, Kelfa Kagbo, who began by telling me how their work will be directly impacted by these cuts.
Construction of schools in far remote communities where we work, making sure that we go into far remote communities and provide access to education for these remote communities. And at the same time, what we've also been doing with support from UK Aid, we were able to recruit local candidates who are qualified to be enrolled into teacher training programs. We get them enrolled into distant training programs. And so they can come back to their local communities, in these deprived communities, and provide quality education. So the cut with the UK Aid match has meant that these services will no longer be provided to these communities.
And this isn't obviously the first time this year that you're hearing such news. Other aid partners have been announcing cuts since the start of the year, including the United States since the Trump administration came into office. How have you adapted to these challenges? Because I imagine this isn't the first time you're having to deal with such news. About
70% of our funding were tied to UK Aid match, and the cut is much more felt deeply than the cut of the USA Aid. Our biggest fear is with the communities where we have created hopes, communities who felt they were completely left out from the national cake. Most of these children that Street Child work with are children from communities that had no opportunity of ever going to school.
There has also been a concern that gender-focused programs are losing impact because they're being deprioritized, maybe not seen not as urgent as others in terms of funding. Why is that significant and concerning in Sierra Leone? What unique challenges does Sierra Leone face where these gender-focused programs were really creating a difference?
Sierra Leone has been a country that has suffered a lot from early childhood marriage. Girls are given into marriages as young as 10, 12, very common. And but with this funding from the UK, we were able to go out, plus other organizations who reach out to these communities and create a glimmer of opportunity where children would say, okay, parents would say, my girl child will go to school. So you delay the age of early marriage, which would then allow the child to grow. So for me, I see this decision as undoing the gains that we've been able to achieve over the past years in the lives of these girls. They would get back to early marriage because there is no hope for them in this remote community.
And finally, there are those who feel that this is a moment for African governments to step up. I know you say that governments are dealing with many challenges, but also there have been numerous reports about wastage in African governments, funds that don't get to where they should. Can African governments stand up and begin to divert more of the budget to healthcare, to education? Is that a challenge you would pose to them?
How prepared are these African governments to deal with these sudden changes? That's the first thing we should ask ourselves. Are our government better prepared? Because I'm sure as we are as charities, charity organization, so they are caught off guard. And I really think they should think about the masses, think about the people, think about the impact their dollars have been having on the lives of children across Africa. The governments will make their own attempts, but the problems are immense. However, it is a wake-up call for Africa, and I hope Africans will take seriously with the decisions we make about the limited resources we have within us.